everyone, and welcome back.
Mhm.
We always like to take these deep dives to try to really get a better understanding of what's going on in the tech world. And today, well, we're going to be talking about something that's been on everyone's mind lately, which is, the tech market. It's been kind of a rocky road, especially for some of these big players.
Yeah,
So we're going to try to unpack that a little bit and see if we can make sense of it all.
definitely.
And for this deep dive, we're going to be looking at an episode from TechShare, which is a podcast that I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with. They do a great job of breaking down complex tech topics.
Yeah, I love those guys.
Yeah, they're awesome. And the episode we're looking at is all about NVIDIA. And specifically, why NVIDIA's stock has been taking a bit of a dip lately. They have a pretty interesting theory about it. They think it might be connected to the rise of this new technology called deepseek. Have you heard of this?
I have.
Yeah.
Yeah, deepseek. It's been generating a lot of buzz in the AI community.
Yeah, for sure. So we wanted to kind of dig into that and see, what's going on with DeepSeek, what makes it so potentially disruptive,
Right.
and what it could mean for companies like NVIDIA.
Absolutely. NVIDIA's been kind of the 800-pound gorilla in the room when it comes to AI hardware. So if there's something out there that could shake things up for them, well, that's definitely worth paying attention to.
Definitely. So let's start with the basics. What exactly is DeepSeek and how does it work?
So DeepSeek at its core, it's an AI-powered search technology. Okay. But it's not like your typical Google search, where you type in a few keywords and you get a list of websites.
Right.
DeepSeek is designed to analyze massive amounts of data, like truly massive. We're talking about data sets that would make even the most powerful supercomputers sweat.
Wow. Okay.
And it doesn't just look at structured data like, spreadsheets and databases. It can also handle unstructured data, which is like text documents, images, videos, social media posts, all that kind of stuff.
And that's where things get really interesting, right? Because most of the data out there is unstructured, it's messy, it's chaotic.
Yeah, exactly. Traditional search engines, they struggle with that kind of data. But DeepSeek, it uses these advanced AI algorithms to actually understand the meaning behind the data. It can find patterns, connections, insights that would be completely hidden to us, mere mortals.
Okay, so it's not just finding needles in a haystack. It's like understanding the haystack itself.
Exactly. And the really mind-blowing thing is how fast and accurate it is. I mean, it can process these huge data sets in a fraction of the time it would take traditional methods.
Wow.
And the results, they're incredibly accurate, like way more accurate than anything we've seen before.
So this is definitely a game changer.
It has the potential to be, yeah.
Okay, so we've got this incredibly powerful AI search technology that can analyze massive amounts of data with incredible speed and accuracy.
Right.
But how does that connect to NVIDIA?
So here's the thing. NVIDIA's bread and butter has been their graphics processing units, or GPUs. These GPUs are really good at doing these complex calculations that are needed for things like image recognition, video analysis, machine learning, all that good stuff.
Yeah, they're pretty much the industry standard at this point.
Yeah, exactly. But what if DeepSeek could do a lot of those same tasks without needing those powerful GPUs? That's the potential disruption here.
Okay, I'm starting to see where you're going with this. So you're saying that if DeepSeek can do all this data crunching without needing NVIDIA's GPUs, then companies might not need to invest in those expensive chips anymore.
Yeah, that's one possibility.
Yeah.
And if that happens, well, it could have a pretty significant impact on NVIDIA's bottom line.
Yeah, that makes sense. And that's why investors are getting nervous, right? They're seeing this potential threat on the horizon, and they're not sure what it means for NVIDIA's future.
It's like seeing a crack in the foundation of a skyscraper.
Right. You start to wonder how stable the whole structure really is.
Exactly. And that uncertainty, it can lead to those stock fluctuations that we've been seeing.
Okay, so we've got DeepSeek, this super efficient data cruncher that could potentially shake things up for NVIDIA. But TechShare didn't just focus on the doom and gloom, right?
Oh, no, not at all.
They also talked about some potential opportunities here, right?
Right. They did. They pointed out that DeepSeek, it's not just about, disrupting the existing market. It's about, opening up whole new possibilities.
Oh, okay. So what kind of possibilities are we talking about here?
Well, for one thing, they talked about how DeepSeek could be a real game changer for companies that are, dealing with these massive data sets.
Like what kind of companies?
Oh, think about like scientific research, places like, labs and universities,
Okay.
financial institutions, they're always crunching numbers,
Right.
even cybersecurity, trying to, stay ahead of the hackers.
So basically anyone who needs to make sense of a lot of data.
Exactly. And with DeepSeek, they could do that, way faster and way more accurately than ever before.
Okay, so it's not just about speed and accuracy. It's also about uncovering insights that we wouldn't be able to see otherwise?
Exactly. It's like, imagine you're looking for a needle in a haystack,
Hmm.
right? With DeepSeek, it's like you can suddenly see the entire haystack in 3D. You can see all the needles. You can see how they're connected. You can see the patterns that are hidden within the chaos.
That's a pretty powerful image.
Yeah, it is. And it has the potential to, revolutionize a lot of different industries.
Okay, so we've talked about the potential disruption for companies like NVIDIA, and we've talked about the potential opportunities for companies that are using DeepSeek, but what about the companies that are actually developing DeepSeek? Where do they fit into all of this?
Oh, yeah, that's a great point. TechShare actually talked about that too. They said that, as the demand for this kind of technology grows, there's going to be a huge need for people with, expertise in AI, algorithm development, data engineering, software optimization, all that kind of stuff.
So it's not just about DeepSeek itself, it's about this whole ecosystem that's going to grow around it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's where, a lot of the new jobs and new opportunities are going to come from.
That's pretty exciting.
It is, yeah. And, it's not just about the tech industry either. This is going to have ripple effects throughout the entire economy.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. We've talked about DeepSeek's potential to disrupt the market. We've talked about the opportunities it creates, and we've talked about the broader economic implications. But let's circle back to NVIDIA for a moment. TechShare didn't paint a completely bleak picture for them, did they?
No, not at all. They
Yeah.
actually suggested that, this could be an opportunity for NVIDIA to adapt and evolve.
So instead of seeing DeepSeek as a threat, maybe it's more like a wake-up call.
Exactly. NVIDIA's been a leader in innovation for a long time, so they're definitely capable of adapting to these kinds of changes.
Yeah, I mean, they've had to do it before, right? The tech industry is constantly evolving.
Exactly. It's all about staying ahead of the curve.
So what do you think NVIDIA's next move should be?
Well, I think they need to, really double down on their AI strategy.
Okay.
They're already doing a lot in this space,
Right.
but they need to, find ways to differentiate themselves from companies like DeepSeek. They need to find new ways to add value to the market.
So maybe it's about focusing on the things that DeepSeek can't do.
Yeah, that's one possibility.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's about finding ways to integrate DeepSeek's technology into their own products and services.
Oh, that's interesting. So it's not necessarily in either situation. It could be more about collaboration or even co-opetition.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
It's about finding a way to coexist and thrive in this new landscape.
So for our listener who's trying to make sense of all this, what's the big takeaway here? What does the emergence of DeepSeek tell us about the future of data and technology?
Well, I think it tells us that we're moving into a new era of data processing. For a long time, the focus has been on just, raw processing power, faster chips, more memory, all that stuff.
Right.
But DeepSeek is showing us that we can achieve much more with intelligent algorithms and software.
So it's not just about crunching numbers. It's about understanding the data and extracting meaningful insights from it.
Exactly. It's like, instead of just building bigger and faster computers, we're now starting to teach them how to think.
It's almost like we're moving from the industrial age of computing to the cognitive age.
I like that analogy.
Yeah.
That's a great way to put it.
And this shift, it has profound implications for everything you know, from scientific research to business decision-making to how we interact with the world around us.
Absolutely. Everything is becoming data-driven. And DeepSeek is one of the technologies that's making that possible.
So it sounds like DeepSeek's rise and NVIDIA's potential response are just the beginning of a much larger story.
Yeah, just the tip of the iceberg.
We're witnessing a fundamental shift in how we access and process information.
And that's going to have ripple effects throughout the entire world.
It's a really exciting time to be alive.
It is. Yeah, it's a time of great change and great opportunity.
And for our listener, it's a crucial time to be paying attention.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because understanding these trends isn't just about, picking stocks. It's about understanding the forces that are shaping our future.
It's about understanding how the world is changing and how we can adapt and thrive in this new environment.
Exactly.
It really feels like we've gone deep on this one. DeepSeek's potential, NVIDIA's response, the future of data. I mean, it's a lot to think about.
It is, but, at the end of the day, I think there are a few, key takeaways that our listeners should really, keep in mind.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Let's recap what we've learned.
So first, the emergence of DeepSeek, I think it shows just how quickly the tech landscape can shift. What seems like a, dominant force today could face serious challenges tomorrow. Companies, especially those in tech, they need to be adaptable.
Yeah.
They need to be innovative. Survival of the fittest out there.
Adapt or die, right?
Pretty much. And for investors, it underscores the importance of, really understanding the long-term trends that are shaping the market. It's not enough to just chase the latest hot stock.
Well,
You got to look beyond the hype. You got to understand the underlying forces that are at play.
so it's not just about knowing what's happening, it's about understanding why it's happening and what it means for the future.
Exactly.
Hmm.
And, I think we've only scratched the surface here. The rise of deepseek and, the challenges facing companies like NVIDIA is just one example of this larger trend that's happening. There's so much more to explore.
We've definitely given our listeners a lot to chew on. Any final thoughts before we wrap things up? Something to really, spark their imagination.
Sure. Here's a question I think is worth pondering. If DeepSeek signifies a move away from relying on specialized hardware, like those powerful GPUs that NVIDIA makes, what other industries or companies might experience similar disruptions? This shift towards intelligent data processing could have far-reaching consequences.
Wow, that's a great point. It's not just about the tech industry, it's about understanding how these advancements might reshape entire sectors of the economy.
Think about healthcare, finance, manufacturing. Any industry that relies heavily on data analysis could be impacted. The ripple effects of this, technological evolution are going to be felt everywhere.
Yeah, it's a call to action for all of us to stay informed, to be adaptable, and, maybe even try to stay ahead of the curve a little bit.
Who knows what incredible breakthroughs or unexpected challenges await us.
Well said. The only certainty is change.
And that's what makes this such an exciting time to be alive.
I love that. And on that note, we'll wrap up this deep dive into the world of DeepSeek and NVIDIA. Make sure to keep exploring, keep learning, and as always, stay curious. We'll catch you next time.